much more do you think anybody can freaking take? Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear another word out of your mouth.
So, sitting up here watching this video of this lady curse out these kids on this bus, and this is actually something that's been on my mind. Not the lady cursing out the kids, but the fact that schools, districts don't really prepare adults into the environment that they're going into. I'm not talking about academically. I'm not talking about content-wise. They don't prepare the adults in terms of what they're actually walking into. And what do I mean by this? They're not preparing them and letting them know that. Well, let me actually give you some background real quick. I used to work at a children's home back in like 2004, 2005, and they did a really good job at preparing their potential employees, the people that they were onboarding, what type of environment, what they was actually getting into. And they provided lots of training. They provided a lot of emotional support in terms of the training. They let them know that, hey, kids are going to curse you out. Kids are going to sling feces at you. Kids are going to say things, but these are kids who have sordid backgrounds. These kids have very troubled backgrounds. And this is what the environment that you're going to be entering into, but we're going to provide you the support and help that you need in order to circumvent, in order to navigate what the type of kids that you're going to be working around. Schools, here's what they do. You know what you're getting into. How many times have y'all heard that? You know what you signed up for. You know exactly what you're getting into. Be an adult. Be a professional. You know you're supposed to be professional. You're the adult. Be professional. So you get all these platitudes just thrown at you. You get all these unrealistic expectations because nobody in no other work environment is somebody going to take being cursed out and just think it's fine and continue to go about it normally. You know, and there are a lot of adults that possibly know that the kids that they're going to be working with are, how should I say, or have these troubled backgrounds that make the learning environment a lot more difficult. But I think campuses really do a poor job in terms of educating the teachers that they're going to be bringing on and letting them know that this is what they're going to really be signing up for. And really setting the standard, setting some sort of like bar and expectation. So that's something I've really been thinking about, is that it's all this focus on testing, test scores, the academics, the content. Those things are important, yes, because kids come to school to learn skills. They come to school to get knowledge so they could be better citizens in society. They could get older, become functional adults to where they're making contributions. And we're not only that, but we're literally investing into the future. And these are people that are going to be heads of something one day. They're going to be leading certain things. And what's going on is that, and a video that I probably need to make, is schools may actually be becoming criminal factories. That may be a sad reality, but that's what we're looking at. These campuses may be actually becoming criminal factories. We work at campuses or districts where, you know, kids get to kind of tear up the building, and the campus just kind of really, or the district more or less just, you know, communicates through their actions by, oh, it's okay, you could just tear it up. We'll come back and we'll repair it on your behalf. Don't worry about it. With no investigation going on in terms of seeing who actually damaged the property or anything like that, and holding that student accountable. Every time a district just comes in and swoops and fixes whatever the student has destroyed, it sends a message. It subconsciously sends a message. You're saying something without deliberately saying something, and that's a huge problem. But man, with this lady that cursed out the kids on the bus, I really don't know what to say about it. She's frustrated. She's had enough. I mean, was it unprofessional of her? Yeah, obviously it's unprofessional, but we're in a day and time right now to where's the professionalism going to be put back on the accountability of the students? Where is that going to be at? We have parents that's probably watched that. Oh, that bus driver should have been fired. She should know better. But when are you going to know better? That's a huge question. When are you going to know better? We're all adults here in this situation, and we see what's going on, but We all have the my baby, and my baby don't do no wrong. That's the attitude and the premise that we've come across. And for a society that wants to go in the direction of a communitarian approach to where equal rights for everybody, inclusivity for everybody, equality for everybody, we sure are going more into this hyper individualistic swimming pool. We're swimming deeper and deeper into that for us to try to be very group oriented, for us to be trying to be very, as I said before, very communitarian and concerned about the needs of others, but we're really not. We're still at the very base, still very selfish individuals, and that's where we're going wrong though. But I'm not going to comment and just say that this woman was wrong for cursing them out. She was expressing herself in terms of she was expressing her frustration. When I say expressing herself, she was more so expressing her frustration. It just reached the boiling point. This woman's probably been a bus driver for a long time, but I mean, she's probably never had to deal with what she's had to deal with up until this point. She's been quiet. She probably hasn't had the support tools or any training in order to learn how to deal with unruly students on a bus or what to expect and given her resources. And that's the problem, is all these resources provided for academics, but there's never any good resources provided for dealing with behavior, and not even just dealing with behavior, because you got things like champs and everything else, which is very woo-foo esoteric, but there's never any support in terms of any sort of counseling for the teacher, any sort of counseling for the teacher, any sort of emotional support, any tools that will allow the teacher to be able to learn how to let those things go, the unruly behavior, because these are such dark environments that are being cultivated on these school campuses. And if the teacher doesn't have, if the teacher isn't coming in themselves with some sort of like spiritual foundation in order to deflect all that darkness, then it's up to the school's campuses to provide some sort of like resources, to provide, some sort of outlet where teachers can vent and they can really talk about their frustrations, and they can learn, and maybe there's a shared community where teachers can actually learn how to really let these things go and not hold it in emotionally. But you talk about social emotional training for the students, but really you need that for the teachers that's coming in. So this whole bus situation has allowed me to actually speak on this, because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I don't know, man. I don't know, I don't condone what, the lady in terms of how she actually expressed herself, but this is the state. This is only her outburst is only a reflection in terms of where we're actually at in the job market when it comes to education. It's going to be more and more frustrated people like her to come onto this, because they're not going to be properly equipped to deal with the behavior, the cursing out, the disrespectfulness of the students, the bucking of authority. Nobody is trained for that, especially if you're an old head, you're old school, and you've been brought up a certain kind of way. You're not trained to deal with this rabidness, this recklessness of these kids, the savagery, they're completely, what's the word I used earlier? It wasn't savage. It was something related to savage though, but wild. That's what it is. Just wild. These kids are just like, they're unhinged. They're unrestrained, and that's because there's a lot of broken systems that empower the kids to be so. Anyway, let me know. I want to hear your comments down below. Do like this video. Maybe you don't want to share it or whatnot. Maybe this video may be triggering to some people, but we need to get this conversation started, and it is what it is. So anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope we can join in on the conversation, and we can continue it forward and stay on the channel for some more good things. Deshaun Johnson out.